class, we are back for the next section of the one and only Ivan. I'm very excited to continue reading today, and we are on page 180, and it's titled Going Nowhere. I'm just going to dive right in. I usually waste a lot of time, and then we have to read less, so I'm going to dive right in. Going Nowhere. I watch Ruby plod around the ring in endless circles, going nowhere. More visitors have been coming, but not many. Max says Ruby's not picking up the slack after all. He says he's cutting back on our food. He says he's turning off the heat at night to save money. Ruby looks thinner to me, more wrinkled than Stella ever was. Do you think Ruby's eating enough? I ask Bob. I don't know. I'll tell you one thing, though. You're sure as heck painting enough. Bob wrinkles his nose. That stench is unbelievable. And I found yellow paint in my tail this morning. Bob isn't happy about my night painting. He says it's unnatural. Now, while I work at my art, Bob sleeps on Not Tag. He claims he prefers her because she doesn't snore. He says her belly doesn't rise and fall and make him seasick. So Not Tag, if you remember, was Ivan's gorilla toy or stuffed animal, and his sister's name was Tag. So now we know why the name is Not Tag, because it's not really his sister Tag. What is the plan of yours anyway? Bob asks. If you explained it to me, I could help out. He gnaws at his tail. Maybe I could come up with something that doesn't involve, paint. I can't explain it, I tell him. It's an idea in my head, but I can't get it right. And anyway, I'm almost out of supplies. I should have known I wouldn't have enough. I kick at my tire swing. It's splattered with drops of blue paint. It's a stupid idea. I doubt that, Bob says. Smelly? Yes. Stupid? Never. What a good friend Bob is. I asked some of my students what they thought Ivan is making, and I had a lot of very interesting suggestions, but I'm not going to say them here because I don't want to give anything away. But some of you are on the right track. Bad guys. Page 182. Most of the day I doze. Late in the afternoon, Mac approaches. Bob slips under Not Tag. He prefers to keep a low profile around Mac. Mac's gaze falls on my pool. A corner of one of my paintings is visible. What is that, big guy? He asks. I calmly eat an orange, ignoring him, but my heart is racing. Mac kicks at my plastic pool. Underneath it are all the paintings. Mac yanks on a piece of paper. It slips out easy, and he doesn't seem to notice the other paintings. Ooh, thank goodness. The page is striped with green, which is what happens when blue paint and yellow paint get together. It's supposed to be a patch of grass. Not bad. Where'd you get the paint anyway? George's kid? He considers. I'll bet I get 30 for this picture, maybe even 40. Mac turns on my TV. It's a Western. There's a human with a big hat and a small gun. He has a shiny star pinned to his chest. That means he is the sheriff, and he will be getting rid of all the bad guys. If this sells quick, I'm getting you some more of that paint, buddy, Max says. He walks away with my painting, Ruby's painting. For a moment, I imagine what it would feel like to be the sheriff. Ad. Good news, huh? Bob says when Mac's out of earshot. Looks like you might be getting some more supplies. I don't want to paint for Mac, I say. I'm painting for Ruby. You can do both, Bob says. You're an artist after all. While I watch the movie, I try to come up with a new hiding place for my paintings. Maybe, I think, I could fold them once they're dry and stuff them into Not Tag. It's a long movie. At the end, the sheriff marries the woman who owns the saloon, which is a watering hole for humans, but not horses. It's been a long time since I've seen a Western that was also a romance. I liked that movie, I say to Bob. Too many horses, not enough dogs, he comments. An ad comes on, or a commercial. I don't understand ads. They're not like Westerns, where you know who the bad guy is supposed to be. And they're hardly ever romantic unless the man and the woman are brushing their teeth before they face lick. I watch an ad for underarm deodorant. How do you know who's who if they don't smell? I ask Bob. Humans reek, Bob replies, which means that humans smell really bad. They just don't notice because they have incompetent noses. Another ad comes on. I see children and their parents buying tickets just like the tickets Max sells. They laugh, enjoying their ice cream cones as they walk down a path. They paused to watch two sleepy cats, huge and striped, dozing in long grass. What kind of cats do you think those are? I don't think they're regular cats. Tigers, I know, because I saw them on a nature show once. Words flash on the screen, accompanied by a drawing of a red giraffe. The giraffe vanishes, and I see human family staring at another kind of family. Elephants, old and young. They're surrounded by rocks and trees and grass and room to wander. It's a wild cage, a zoo. I see where it begins and where it ends. The wall that says you are this and we are that, and this is how it will always be. It's not a perfect place. Even in just a few fleeting seconds on my TV screen, I could see that. A perfect place would not need walls. But it's the place I need. I gaze at the elephants, and then I look over at Ruby, small and alone. Before the ads end, I try to remember every last detail. Rocks, trees, trails, trunks. It's the picture I need to paint. I think he may have hinted of what he's doing for Little Miss Ruby. It's different now when I paint. I'm not painting what I see in front of me, a banana, an apple. I'm painting what I see in my head. Things that don't exist. At least, not yet. I pull out knot tag stuffing. Carefully, I fill her with my paintings, hiding them so Mac won't sell them. She's large, bigger than Bob, and I still have to crumple a few of them. Bob tries to settle on her for a nap. You've killed her, he complains. I had to, I say. I miss your stomach, Bob admits. It's so spacious. When Julia arrives, she noticed that I've used up my paints and paper. Wow, Julia shakes her head. You are a more serious artist than I am, Ivan. One more thing. My finger painting has sold for $40 with a frame. Mac is happy. He brings me a huge pile of paper and big buckets of paint. Get to work, he says. I paint for Mac during the day and for Ruby at night. I nap when I can. But my nighttime picture isn't quite bright. It's big, that's for sure. When I place all the pieces on the floor of my cage side by side, the cement is almost completely covered. Wow. But something is still missing. Bob says I'm crazy. There's Ruby, he says, pointing with his nose. There's the zoo. There are other elephants. What's wrong with it? It needs one more thing, I say. Bob groans. You're being a temperamental artist. What could be missing? So this actually has a picture of Ivan. And we see that he's probably painting or drawing for Mac. And then on this page, we see a little sleepy Stella. I want to make sure you're seeing it. In her little cage, a little sad. I stare at the huge expanse of colors and shapes. I don't know how to explain to Bob that it isn't done yet. I'll just have to wait, I say at last. Something will come to me, and then I'll know my painting is finally finished. So we're going to stop there at page 192, and we're just going to talk about what Ivan is creating. So a lot of you had different guesses, but we are learning now that Ivan is taking small pieces of paper, like a regular printer-sized piece of paper. He's drawing a part of a picture, and eventually all of those papers are going to be one huge painting for Ruby. And it seems like he's trying to paint a humane zoo that Stella can have a picture in her domain to look at so that she can imagine her life outside of there and take comfort in it, similar to how Ivan has his waterfall painted on the side of his domain. So I think he's trying to do something similar for her so that she can imagine that she's somewhere else, and hopefully he could still get her to that humane zoo. But in the meantime, he wants to help her feel a little bit better about her surroundings. So what do you think is missing from his picture? He said that he's missing something. I'm going to leave that in the Google form. I have a lot of people requesting that I record the one and only Ivan during spring break. So if you are listening, make sure to fill out the Google form today, because maybe I will send out a Zoom meeting to your parents so that instead of recording it and putting it on the classroom, we can just meet one day during the week if you're free, or on a weekend, and read the book together live, and we can talk about the book there so that we don't have to log into the Google Classroom because it's spring break. You got to let go of school. But if you're very, very interested, I'm going to include that on the Google form to let me know if you would like to read over spring break this book. Please let me know. If you want, you can follow our YouTube channel to see when a new video is posted, and you can follow me at Miss Pugz with a Z on Instagram to see what's going on in our class and in our real life class and our online class and all that good stuff. Okay. Enjoy your spring break. Make sure to fill out your Google form, and me and Ivan will miss you.